January 12th, 2022, and I just want to record us talking about something. Okay. This is something that, yes, of course, we have talked about it many times since it has happened. But anyway, I want to record us talking about it, okay. All right? Do you recall owning a 1954 Mercury with Dad?
Yes.
Do you realize that that car is what they call a classic car? Do you have a memory of the beautiful red car that you used to own? Mm-hmm. Do you have memory of taking it to shows?
Yes.
Driving it to South Carolina?
Yes.
Do you have memories of being so proud of that car?
Yes.
Do you remember how much time you don't know how much time, but what I mean is, do you realize that you spent probably as much time as Dad did working on the car, polishing the car? Because Dad never did anything with that car that you weren't right there with him.
That's right.
Whether you felt like being out there with him or not. Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that the car was titled in both of your names until I had you removed, and I did find out from your insurance company, State Farm, that the car was titled to both of you. But that was all I could, I learned that back then, and then that it didn't cross my mind much anymore until you filed for divorce against Dad. You were wanting to divorce Dad at one point. Mm-hmm. At that time, you list assets, marital assets, and the only two marital assets that you and Dad had was your house and the 54 Mercury. Right. Okay? Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how much value the car is. I had to just look up some things online, and I came up with $20,000. And what that meant was that if that divorce had gone through, Dad and you would have split the value of that car.
Yes.
Okay? Well, that divorce didn't go through. Now, during that time, though, I learned that Dad had given the car to someone. Who did Dad give the car to?
Jimmy Burrows.
Jimmy Burrows. That's right, Mom. And when I learned that, I got in touch with the attorney, and she didn't act concerned at all. She said, I don't care where the car is. When we settle with the divorce, he will have to pay you half of the value of the car. And in fact, it was noted in the divorce papers that Mr. Brooks was not to do anything with that car. And the car was named, okay? Mm-hmm. But Dad doesn't care what is in a court order.
Right.
Dad doesn't care what anybody says. Dad does what he wants to do.
Yes.
So I did reach out to Dad and tried to talk to him about it when I found out he had given the car away, and basically was told, in ugly words, what I could do with everything. So, okay, I had to just kind of leave it go. But I really kind of thought he just had the car sent to Jimmy, just like kind of hiding it, so to speak, okay? I never really considered that he could have even changed the title, because I had been told it was titled to both of you. Yeah. Well, because I couldn't do anything about anything, we just kind of had to let things go until Dad, he died recently. Yeah. And when we were in the house, I was able to go through some paperwork, and I found an old registration to both of your names. And the way that it's, so then what that did was I needed to go to the State Farm insurance company to let them know that Dad died so they could cancel his insurance. Well, that's when I learned that he didn't have insurance on the 54 Mercury anymore. And that's all she would tell me. And I said, well, I know it was registered to both of them, so I'm assuming it was titled to both of them. Do you not have a copy of the title when he did have the car under insurance with you? She claimed that she did not, but she did have a copy of a title where it was only in his name. So I went down with you to the DMV, and we learned that he actually had forged your name off of the original title. Do you know that that's illegal to forge someone's signature, Mom?
Absolutely.
Absolutely it is. Okay, so the DMV lady that's standing there seeing it and talking to us about it, she felt very confident that if we would get in touch with the head office up in Tallahassee, that they would be able to rectify this situation. Okay, so I get in touch with them. They tell me we have to prove that it was a forgery. So you hired a man for $800 recently and certainly proved that it was absolutely a forgery. Well, then we, the lady I was talking to with the Florida Motor Vehicles said that I was really talking to the wrong department, that I needed to submit an application for you to the fraud department. And that lady told me that they would be able to reissue the original title because it was illegal for him to have signed you off of that title and then to give that car to Jimmy Burrows under a sole title because that was all illegal actions. So I was very hopeful that we were going to be able to get your car back, right? Well, unfortunately, yesterday I learned from the Florida Motor Vehicle people that there is a statute of limitations on this type of illegal action. And so, unfortunately, Dad had signed that title, forged that title back in March of 2016. And we are now beyond the statute of limitations of 4 years. So we can do nothing about it to get your car back, Mom. So I want to ask you something. Do you believe that if once Jimmy Burrows learns that Dad did all this illegally and in essence stole your car from you and gave it to him, do you think that he should give you back your car?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. Of course he should.
Absolutely.
And we feel bad that he would have to let go of the car because I'm sure he enjoys the car just like you enjoyed your car. Right? It's a beautiful car.
Yeah.
Okay? But for you, it's not even so much about the car because we don't have a place to store a car like that.
That's right.
But what we do have is a need for the value of the car. Do you think you need the money that the value of that car is?
Yes, I do.
And do you realize that it's rightfully yours?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, because he forged your name off of the title in order to give the car away.
Gosh.
So do you think that anybody with any kind of right in them, I mean, Jimmy claims, he's a Christian. He's a pastor, in fact.
Wow.
Right? So it seems like it would be a no-brainer that once I let Jimmy know what Dad had done, and we feel bad that he did this and gave Jimmy a car that he legally didn't own,
Right.
we feel certain that Jimmy Burrows would do the right thing, don't we, Mom?
Yeah.
At least we hope so.
should.
Yeah, right? He should. Well said, Mom. He should. All right, so I just wanted to talk to you about all of this, and you certainly show that you have all the capacity in the world to understand how Dad did you very dirty on this one.
Oh gosh, yes.
He did you dirty enough when he gave Jimmy Burrows $12,500 of your life insurance money, and Jimmy was okay keeping that.
Yeah.
But surely this man will realize this is your car, Mom.
Yes. That's right. Absolutely.